Hey guys, well, whew, knocked out 35 miles, 35.7 miles in an hour and 57 minutes. That's a good ride, good prep for the 100. Got basically 2 weeks till the Tour de Cure, riding the Century in Lake Nona. So probably next Saturday, try and knock out a 60 or 65, and that'll be ready to roll. The best thing about today, again, I always talk and I always try and enlighten all of you about diabetes and what you don't understand. You just can't get on your bike and go. In my case, today when I was getting ready to ride, my sugar was 107, which means if I would have gotten on my bike and tried to ride, I would have been done in about 10 minutes because my sugar would have crashed and I would have been useless and then I would have gotten the chills and then I would have been done. So it's really important for me to get my sugar up close to 200, which a doctor would say, oh, it's terrible, don't do that. But it's not terrible when you're exercising, obviously, because as you exercise, your sugar comes down. Your body uses for some of it for energy, even though it's not using it efficiently when you're diabetic. So I had to pound of Coke, a couple pieces of challah, and some mini marshmallows, believe it or not. Got my sugar up to about 165, 170 before I jumped on the bike. And I got to tell you that today is a momentous occasion because I spun 35.7, and when I got off the bike, I just checked my sugar because my Dexcom, which is over here on my stomach, is Bluetooth to my phone, and it was 105. That is freaking incredible. I don't think I've ever gotten off the bike after a 2-hour ride and been 105 and felt great. So this is the first time in 30 years that I've actually managed my diabetes phenomenally. And the whole time I was riding, I was waiting for my Dexcom to ring in my ear in my Bluetooth and say, your sugar's crashing, but it never did, which is amazing, to the point where I almost, was like expecting it. Especially because the last 5 laps I gelled up and I did 2 gels. I just pounded 200 calories of gels and then time trialed the last 5 miles. So anyway, that's that. Listen, in all honesty, Tour de Cure for diabetes. Right now, in the 3 minutes I've been talking to you, a little over 7 people found out that they're diabetic. Every 2.6 people every minute. That's insane. That's just insane. 10% of those people will be type 1 insulin dependent like me. If you're sitting on the couch eating donuts, pounding Coke, and whatever other crap you're pounding in your body, get off the couch and do something so that you don't become like me. All right? I have 4 stents in my widowmaker artery. I had 7 knee surgeries, 4 back surgeries, spinal meningitis, 2 shoulder surgeries, broken wrists, and 4 kidney stones. And I'm still riding, man. Yesterday I was in the bike shop standing next to a gentleman. He had a Mount Dora bike shirt on. He was an older guy, really nice guy. I was talking to him about Claremont and the hills and Sugarloaf and all that cool stuff in Florida. Nobody knows there's hills in Florida. There's giant hills in Florida, in Central Florida. But, and he was 79 and his buddy was 93 and they were riding with Boca Bike Club. And I think that's freaking amazing. So hopefully 21 years from now, I'll be riding a bicycle still. But to make a long story short, go to my Tour de Cure for diabetes, look up my name, Warren Cohen, and donate. I don't care if you donate $1. I really don't care. I just want you to donate because I don't want to have to wear this shit on my stomach anymore. And I want all these people that are becoming diabetic not to become diabetic. And little kids go through this stuff their whole life, having to worry about their sugar constantly and wearing stuff on their, 2 things on their stomach to take their sugar. And I mean, it's just terrible, man. And it's the leading cause of blindness. It's a major contributor to stroke and heart attack, amputations, all the fun things that, people don't want to talk about. And people don't understand that diabetics are not, they're just like you and me, man. I mean, we're all just people, and this is something where your money, a lot of people say, well, I don't really want to donate because, all the people that are running that are driving Maseratis, like, you know, the Red Cross. And, you know, first of all, that's a really bad knock on the Red Cross, because there's a lot of billions of people who generate their hours in horrible situations to save people's lives. So I know it sucks, but the people that I know from Tour de Cure and from the American Diabetes Association ain't driving Maserati. They're driving like Toyota Corollas. And you know what? They're dedicated as hell, and they care. And all this money that you've been donating and that everybody's been giving to the American Diabetes Association has resulted in things like, number one, education, so that more people won't get it, even though right now it's at epidemic proportions. And more importantly is that it's given so many dollars for research to come up with an artificial pancreas right now that acts like your pancreas. It sucks to have to wear, you know, a phone-sized thing on your stomach, and another thing over here that pumps insulin into you because your pancreas isn't working, but it's better than dying. And by the way, I forgot to mention dialysis, because that's also a real biggie. Dialysis. Dialysis is horrible. And kidney failure. That is a huge thing with diabetics. So, listen. Go to your computer right now. Guys, turn off your porn for a second. Ladies, stop shopping in Wayfair. Or stop doing your work, which is what I usually do on my computer. Go to Tour de Cure for diabetes. Look up Warren Cohen for the Lake Nona Tour de Cure and donate some money. And I'll thank you to 1 billion people. And hopefully one day I'll stop riding for the American Diabetes Association and start riding for some other horrible disease that we can cure. But right now, this is what I'm doing because I'm diabetic, and I don't want to be diabetic anymore. It's probably too late for me, but it certainly isn't too late for little kids and for lots of people. And believe me, if you don't know somebody that is diabetic, you'll know somebody soon. And if you know me, then you already know somebody who's diabetic. And I'm a pain in the ass, so let's get this thing cured. Peace. Yep.